Hey everybody, Brad Linder back at you again. Today with Brad Linder Creating Comics, I'm going to be doing a cool little request by my daughter. Going to be doing TinkerBell. Bear with me just a moment while I go off here and kick this into place and share it over with the channel so everybody can see it on YouTube and hang out and put it up on the page as well. So we have that going on. And that is done. Now I'm going to hop right into this thing and knock it out. So here we go. I'm going to grab my pencil here, whatever I did with it. There it is. We're going to go into this thing and get it done. So now granted, this isn't the classic Disney style. It is in my style as always, so it's my interpretation. So there we have that. Not to mention I knocked this little sketch out about, maybe 30 seconds ago, and decided this is the one that I wanted to go with because she asked me to do, my daughter asked me to do, either, I burnt my hand with a light. That's always fun. But I just noticed that on camera. I was like, great, what is that? And I burnt my hand earlier. But anyway, sidetrack averted. It's late. She gave me the options of Yoshi or TinkerBell because I gave her the option tonight, and I was just like, well, what would you like to see? Well, I'd like to see these two. So I'm like, okay. And this is what we have going on. So I'm going to knock this out, and we're going to hang out. And believe it or not, we are at May 1st, about to be in May 2nd here shortly. And for those of you who have been following the home game, we are going to be at a 1-year marker. I mean, I know I've done more lives than that, but this will be my 1-year marker of 365 days of doing this consecutively every day without missing one, 7 days a week for the last full year. So the sketchbook is going to be awesome, and I cannot wait to finish putting it together with these pieces. And this is going to be a great addition to it. So I've got 2 more days, guys. 2 more days. And like I said, I still will be doing the cards and a lot more how-to stuff for the comic industry work that I do, as well as moving into more marketing things and getting that going since my revamp is up for me to work. Instead of behind the scenes, I'm working in the public eye now and upholding that promise I made to my sister before she passed away from cancer a couple years ago. And I promised her that I would do for myself what I do for my clients, customers, and students. And I am right on that verge. It's been a long time coming with the site revamps and, going public and whatnot and all that. And, this is the first step to that. So this sketchbook is a big, massive piece for my comic art collection coming out. And it's going to be to where you guys can get some of these cards through my Kickstarter. And the sketchbook will be going out for free for a limited time because I don't believe in making profit off of prints from other people's characters and intellectual properties like that. So I will be giving out the sketchbook for free as an homage to the characters that have come from this set. But however, the original pieces will be for sale and part of the rewards program for my Kickstarter. I don't need to do it, but in a way I do, because of the fact that I'm going to put my comics out either way, but I want the fan support, and I've been asked to do that a lot so that people can get pieces of my artwork, because I don't do cons and things like that very much at all. And the few I've been at, I've done a couple of panels. I've done a couple of, kind of Mystery Man remote panel type things as well for Comic Palooza. Those guys are awesome. And a couple of other things going on. But finishing up this year and finishing up the sketchbook, it's going to be a bonus marker for that. So you guys will be able to get a copy of the book, as well as a notice of authenticity, a certificate of authenticity for the card that you get, or the piece that you get for some of the bigger stuff, because some of the bigger bonuses, guys, I am going to be offering some of those bigger pieces that I've done in the run as well. So, but that's not the whole purpose of why I did this. I did this as a training ritual to get used to doing lives, because I don't like being in front of the camera. I honestly do not. And that's one of those things that I had to overcome because, you know, I've worked behind the scenes for so many years, making people successful and whatnot, and then coming out and doing this for myself. In the comic industry, I don't mind, but for the marketing stuff, I did, you know, as my work. So I'm coming along now and kicking all this stuff out, man. I mean, my marketing program is about to launch, and so are my books about to catch up on a regular daily basis now that I'm not going to be doing this every single day. But I had to do this because it was a promise for myself that I had to keep for my sister. And I don't make promises I can't keep. So therefore, you guys got me for a year doing this every single day to break that habit, so that I would go on camera and be easy about it. And, you know, I've done podcasting for years, so that's no big deal. But, man, I just, there's something about that, you know, going on camera, going on live and stuff. And I've always been, like I said, a behind-the-scenes type person. So, but we're about to hit that 1 year mark, and I'm going to be doing a lot more. And I got a bunch of stuff in store for you guys, you know, so. And it's not just selling you stuff. I'm not one to really sell people stuff as much. I mean, if you like my stuff, cool, and go for it. But I'm not one to really sell as much as I am to teach. So I really dig that, and that's my bag right there. So I like to teach it. But anyway, making money is easy. It's like Doritos. So, you know, you can always make more. It really is. It really is. A lot of people are afraid of it, and it's a focus of making money, and for me, it's not. So making money is a side effect of helping people. So I make them invest in themselves to get that done, but you guys will find out more about that later on. But right now, we're talking about comic books. So I know a lot of people that are ticked off about the whole, you know, Marvel Disney thing right now, and then there's a bunch of people that are huge fans of the crossover, because that's what they know from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I tell you what, man, I haven't seen Infinity War just yet. I'm holding off on it because, for one thing, I've got my launch coming up, and I'm finishing out this year task here of 1 year of doing this, and of these sketch cards every single day. But other than that, though, I've also got my launches coming up for my revamped sites going public, and I'm so excited, man. Let's see who's on. Hey, Jackie, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Nate, thanks for making it, man. Johnny, who else is on here? Ben and John, cool. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. Yeah, I decided to go with TinkerBell because of the fact that I tried Yoshi twice, and to answer Jackie's question, yeah, she asked about it being TinkerBell as the winner, and complimenting. Thank you very much for saying it looked great. I appreciate that. I hope it comes out that way. But yeah, the funny thing is that I came across a couple of different designs for Yoshi, and I was just like, I'm not feeling this, so I went with TinkerBell. And everybody gripes because I don't draw a lot of women. So I haven't drawn a lot of women in this series. Maybe about a third of the cards are women. And this one is just one that really came across as really cool and worked out really well. So I was just like, yeah, I'll do it and knock it out and have a good time with it. Cool deal. Now, I like drawing women. It's just I haven't had a reason to in this series as much, so I kind of hesitate on that and just do whatever comes across quicker. So I like to get these knocked out and not have to really worry about them too much, because they are sketch cards, you know. And there's always some bonehead that wants to come along and complain about it, but that's okay too. You know, that means I'm doing something right. If they complain about it, that means I'm doing something right, and I always love that. Jim Rohn taught me that years ago, and it's just, you know, you won't know that you're doing the right thing until you get into trouble with someone wanting to say you're doing it wrong. That's the best way to tell you've made it. And I challenged a few people right off the bat, and back in 1998, 97, 98, and came right out of the gate marketing and in comics, and challenged a few people, and I got, yeah, it was bad. It was horrible. They came right at me, and I was just like, okay, let's do this. I made it. I've made it. They're coming at me. I've made it. So, you know, if you want to get into artwork, be your best critic and your worst critic yourself, and go by your pieces working from the last piece to the first, because the Thanos I did yesterday, for example, I did one back in 2015 live for Comic Palooza, and I tell you what, I was working remote because my daughter was ill and I couldn't get out to Texas to get out there and get back. You know, I'm originally from there, and I couldn't get down to the show, and I had scheduled to appear. Well, I did that remotely, and it worked out great. And I was, turns out I was their first Comic-Con remote access guest on a panel ever. And I was like, sweet, welcome to modern technology, nice. And the guys down there were great, and we knocked it out of the park. So yeah, awesome stuff. But being TinkerBell, I'm going to leave this very, very open, because what I'm going to do is when I ink this and color it, I'm probably going to start inking it now, because I've got a lot of time here, because I'm only on about 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start inking it right now. And when I color this, I'm going to put in some star effects for like pixie dust kind of things, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to start kicking this out real quick, since I'm only 13 minutes in. Give her that little sharp pixie nose. And now, granted, I do know she's a fairy. I just like saying she's a pixie because it annoys people. So that's an old school thing from where I was in like junior high, and I got into that habit, and now I've grown up and it's still there. I'm still a dude. It's funny, but whatever. My daughter will get on tomorrow and see this, and she'll be like, it's not a pixie. So but it's all good. So, but yeah, she came off really quick, so I'm good with that. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Now, whenever I color this thing, like I said, I'll put the fairy dust effects, the little sparkles and that kind of thing behind it in the coloring, and I think it'll be cool. But I'm gonna kind of knock this out really quick. Kind of give her a big. I built her arms up a little bit, didn't I? That's cool. I like it. So, got that going on. And apparently so is the word of the day. So, gonna get this stuff going, and we'll knock it out. Now, you know, I went through. I got. I'll tell you an interesting story to me from marketing. I got into my inbox of an email that I've had locked up forever, because of the fact that I didn't get into it, and I hit over like 100,000 emails in there, because that's where my default email was, and I got hammered by it, and I got grandfathered into the ISP, or the internet service provider that it was hosted through, and they grandfathered it out so I could still have the account when I left them, and I had it as a default, and I put in something like I said, 100,000 emails built up in there, and couldn't access it because when they grandfathered me, they put me on a different server access point as a customer differential. And it turned out that I couldn't access it for a long time. And I would get access to it, go through all the tech support stuff to bust out access to it, and then turn around and they would lock it up again because their system default would scan it and lock me out. Well, I got in there, and did you know, on average, I'm on maybe 200 mailing list. And between 2015 and 2018, I got an average of anywhere from 300 to 500 emails a day in that account from expert marketers that are telling everybody email is dead. You want to talk about funny? So, you know, and they do it all wrong. They do it completely wrong. They email you out tons of stuff, and it's just, you know, this campaign, that campaign, and they hammer your email. And it's well, I won't send you any emails. You can trust us with that email account. We won't hammer it. And then it's 3 to 5 emails a day, and that's just ridiculous, you know. If you're a marketer and you want to get out there and contact people, and you really want people to read your stuff, don't send them more than 1 email a week unless it's a special event, unless you have something special come up, or you're giving them fulfillment to get your stuff done and out there. As an artist or a marketer, if you're in business, period, do not hammer people with multiple emails a day unless it's an event that they require those emails to be hit. I wouldn't even send them more than 1 a week. And what I like to do is I like to send out a newsletter. I send out an old school newsletter, and it has my content in it. And I'll tell you what, I get an average of about 300 subscriptions a day from that to build my list, and these are converting clients. So I tell you what, it's something to play. It's nothing to play around with. It is very, very important that you get the information and time to observe it without hammering them doing 20 different things, because then they're like, oh, it's the same crap, I'm not going to read. Because then they read this crappy sales letter from you, and then they're like, oh, I'm done, because it's all going to be that. And then they go off and delete you because they're ticked. But if you give them something that gives them one piece of content that's really, really intense and really needs your attention and focus to read and get through, the retention on that is anywhere from 1 minute to 10 minutes. They will actually stop and pay attention if you can get them to open it. And you do that by not hammering them out to where they think you're trying to sell them and stuff their email. Think about that. Think about it. Think about it. I see artists do that all the time. Marketers are the worst, but I see artists do that all the time. And I'm like, dude, don't make me slap you. Seriously. They go off and do stupid stuff like coming out of the woodwork and popping out, oh, I've got this ebook for sale, and I've got this promotion for sale, and I've got this for sale, and did you see this video, and did you see that video, and did you see this video? I hate that. And I've tested it. I've tested it with my own R&D, research and development, if you don't know what that is. I've tested it many, many times in my email campaigns. Think about that, people. That is crazy stuff. The average person opens an email, and you have anywhere from 1 to 3 seconds maximum to get their attention before they say, oops, it's an email selling stuff. Bye. Gone. Or this is an email I don't want. Bye. Gone. It's that simple. And I do mean that sincerely as possible. It's that simple. I'm going to thicken that line up because I kind of made it hairy there, but that's okay. But anyway, it's just crazy. Don't hammer people. Let them have time to get your stuff. Send them 1 email a week. And I guarantee you, if they see it and it has the content in it that gives them the chance to get what they want, when they open it, they're going to see it. And if you send them only 1 email a week regularly, and they can count on that email from you, and they like your stuff and they follow it, one of these days they're going to buy. One of these days they're going to buy. But the average weekly email gets anywhere from 1 to 7 minutes. 1 to 7 minutes. And the average email gets 1 to 3 seconds to open before they delete it and move on. We're trained, you know. It just depends on how aware your market is. If your market's trained and they're aware of what you're sending them, they're going to know in 1 to 3 seconds what you've got. 3 to 7 at the very most on a newbie is going to be able to see what's going on. A novice will be able to tell in 3 to 7 seconds, and they'll be able to pop on and see it and go, oh man, this is a marketer telling me something. I don't want this. I can't afford this. I can't buy it, blah, blah, blah. And they're out the door. Boom, bye. And guess who's not getting the sale? Again, guess who's not getting the sale? So think about that. I see that crap all the time. And I'm constantly telling students, don't do that. Once a week. Well, they're like, well, we can't get in front of them with the mix of once a week if everybody is doing it, blah, 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 and you know, sending out 20 emails and this, that, and the other, and it's horrible, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you know what? If you give them great content and they can see your stuff, and they can literally see your stuff, and they like it, and they're requesting it, you don't have to worry about that because they're going to look for your email. And if you haven't heard from them in 3 or 4 weeks, then tell them, send them a special email. Hey, did you forget about me? Did I get put in your spam folder? Did you miss me? Let them know what's going on. Tell them, hey, I'm still here. I need to see this crap. Are you still with me or did I lose you? Let them know. Tell them. Tell them how it is. Tell them how it is. I send people email reminders all the time. Love it. It's like, hey, I hadn't heard from you in a while. Are you still with me? And I love sending out accountability emails. Well, what are accountability emails? Accountability emails are simple things that you want to send out about once a month, whether you send out anything or not, whether they're reading or not. You want to send out about accountability emails about once every month or so, maybe once every 6 weeks. And the reason I like to do those is because of the fact it wakes people up. Because what you do is you give them a recovery email of the email that you got already, and you give them kind of an overview of what they missed, and tell them, hey, in this issue you missed this. Hey, in this email you missed this. Hey, in this email you missed this. And tell them, is there any of this you would like to check? Please check 1 to let me know you're still here. Click any of these links to confirm to stay in the continuity program or in the mailing list, in the active side. And I guarantee you they'll click one of them because they'll want to say that they're still in and they don't want to get booted out. So I like to do that because of the fact it wakes them up. And I like to hold accountability. You know, hey, you went on this program. How'd it go for you? Send me your link and I'll give you a review. I like to surprise people with hidden secret reviews like that because it's like, what? You're going to put me on the hot seat? What? What did I miss? Be sure and go back and check this email because this coming week, I'm going to be picking 5 people to do a hot seat. And then you make a webinar out of it or an email out of it or a poll out of it or a report out of it or whatever, you know, a video out of it, whatever you want to do. And I guarantee you, if you pick 5 people and you do it, they're going to be wanting to be in that running, so they're going to go check it out and make sure what they missed. It's amazing how that works. It's really simple, really easy. I'm going to add another twig of hair there to kind of pop that out and even it up a little bit. But there's the other side of that wing because they come out of her shoulders and out of her back down here. There's 2 separate wings there. So we got that hard line right there going on. I'm going to make that a little thicker. But anyway, for the most part, there's TinkerBell. Okay? I hope you guys dig it. I gave her the big fairy eyes, the little pixie nose. Again, there'll be comments about that, I'm sure. She's not a pixie. And whatever. But, you know, if you're doing some email marketing and you're campaigning for your business, whether you're an artist, a marketer, whether you're a dentist, I don't care about that. Whatever you do is your thing. Go on and check it out and see where you're at. You know, I see people crunch down all the time. Don't do it. Hey, Johnny, coming at you live from my pajamas. Jeez, you're a nut. Anyway, that's where I'm at tonight. We got TinkerBell, we got email, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of comics. I just wanted to give you guys a quick review here. We've got TinkerBell here. We're going to go retrograde. We got Thanos. We got Link from Zelda. The reason I'm doing this is because some people have asked. Storm Shadow, Ms. Marvel, The Mummy, Slimer from the real Ghostbusters, Little Game of Thrones going on there. Let's see what else is here. Savage Dragon, Darkwing Duck, Wolverine versus the Sentinel from the original X-Men series. I thought that would be cool from the cartoon, from that intro with the great Sentinels, because they did the best animation on those things. There's the Guyver with the mutant head, classic Evil Ernie, the Tick, Pinhead, Hulkbuster Iron Man. That is the Boogeyman from Mr. Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then we have MODOK. We have Hellboy. Let me see. We have one of the Green Lanterns, which I think there's like 10 of these in this series. There is Banshee. There's Luke Cage and Iron Fist. There's the Grifter. There's Bane. There's Brainiac. And Hulk versus Prime, which I thought was phenomenal. It came out really well. Odin, Mobius, Crow, the Wasp, and there is Peter Porker, aka Spider-Ham. And we will end it on the Grinch and the classic Joker. I think that's a few to show you guys how the series is going. I've been asked about that a couple of days now. I thought I'd pop that on there and let you guys know. Gonna see if I have time for it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to squeeze it off of my schedule here. I'm gonna try and do a Venom with the new movie coming out. I just want to play on that a little bit because I started this thing with the Venom card. There's card number 1 a year ago. Venom, right there. So the reason I want to go full circle with a bigger piece, an 11 by 17 piece, which will have a 10 by 15 frame on it, is that's the one I want to round out with for the season on this first year marker, hopefully. So we'll see if I can get that done or not. I make no promises, but I definitely will be back to probably today now. What time is it? We're looking at 12:07. Yeah, it is the 2nd officially. I'll be back today with this bad boy to color it and knock this one out, and then we'll move on to another one to wrap it up for the 3rd, being the 1 year mark of Brad Linder creating comics and sketch series. So talk to you tomorrow. As always, I leave you with the note that we are on this rock we call Earth, floating around in the dark abyss of space for a limited amount of time on this roller coaster we call life. Be sure to make somebody happy, make somebody smile, hug somebody. Please be somebody you know, because it's awkward if not, and you could get charged. Otherwise, let's stack the party stock for the next generation. Talk to you tomorrow.